We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Hell yes, I get to ride the dragon.
The hell's wrong with you people?
I know Kung Fu.
Tank, you want to switch?
No, I'm good. I got it.
Stay down. I could do this all day.
If you had to transform into one mythical creature and then get married to a different mythical creature.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Maximum effort. How about a magic trick?
HR.
Not an
Call
animal.
HR. Is HR?
Somebody call HR down here.
That man is playing Galaga.
Oh, man.
Welcome to the Nerds from Work, your weekly escape into the world of geeks, nerds, and people who love alcohol so much that they mix children's drinks with it.
Dude, have you ever put?
We were just talking about me drinking hot chocolate with bourbon.
Hot fatties.
Have you ever put coconut rum in Kool-Aid? It's delicious.
No. I have put mango rum in apple juice and Sprite, though. That's one of my favorite drinks.
Sounds good
I
to me.
have, I have put moonshine in coffee before, but now I have got black cherry bourbon in hot chocolate with cinnamon, and it's a holiday festive drink. But I'm not putting up my
hot
fucking
toddy.
ornaments. So, Tank, Brandon, if you guys are thirsty, crack them if you got them. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sip on this for a little bit.
Nice.
Have you ever had one of the adult Capri Suns?
No, but that sounds amazing.
What?
They're so good. I'm on like a bar's Instagram drinking one. It's really funny. Me and my friend ordered them. They're like really big. It's like, I don't know what's in it at all. I can't even.
It's a
pretend.
Capri Sun, but it's just a larger package.
No, it's alcoholic. It's a bar drink.
No, it's alcoholic.
Yeah, it's a bar drink. It's like a mixed drink, and they have like a pouch with a straw in it, and they like crush ice and put in there and stuff. But there's like this like, I don't know, 50-year-old couple or something that like took a picture, the first picture at that bar when they first opened with them, and they were like doing this weird pose, you know, like old people pose on Instagram. So I mean, my friend Seth like ordered them and then got the bar to take the same picture of us like doing the same pose. And we were like, who did it best?
That's awesome.
Who wore it best?
Yeah. Capri Sun.
That's awesome.
Capri Sun.
We used to buy the wife the just like in the alcohol section, they're like the frozen daiquiris that you just like throw in the freezer. So that's kind of what it sounds like.
I don't know. It's like, it's definitely, you need a bartender to make it, probably.
Okay.
It's like one of those where it's like 10 things mixed together and shaken, not stirred, and then it's put into this pouch.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Can we just agree that like some things are best left for like a professional?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. That's
Like-
probably one of them.
Yeah.
I would just drink it and be like, man, my Capri Sun tastes like friggin' Tito's.
Would you want an alcoholic Capri Sun done by a good bartender or one done by Bud Light?
Ew,
A
bartender.
good bartender, for sure.
I guess. AKA, what is it called? The something Rita?
The
Oh,
Limerita.
The
Yeah.
lime Rita or mango Rita?
Yeah.
Those things are.
I don't do tequila. I'm not a big tequila guy.
And I hate fucking alcoholic seltzer water. Just drink beer.
Yeah, I don't.
Doesn't make fucking sense.
I don't like the alcoholic water either. It's weird.
I've had one that was good because it wasn't sweet.
Okay.
No.
Makes sense? Like the ones that are like very popular now are stupid sweet, and they're like it's gross. Like the flavor is gross.
Yeah.
I've had
Now-
some that actually just taste like basically light beer, but like not beer flavored. It's like slight hint of juice, and I was like, oh, this is good because it's not
like-
overpowering or anything. But when they have all the sugar and stuff, it's way too much.
I hate them.
Yeah, it's
Like-
so
Ugh.
Yeah.
much.
No
Ugh.
bueno.
Anyway, like I told you guys, rabbit hole, we're alcoholics. Tank, what have you been up to this week?
So I've been holding this. You guys are gonna be pissed. Just go ahead
We
and be
should argue
pissed.
this, though.
What's
I've
up?
been holding it for too long.
Oh yeah.
That leads to diseases down the road. You should just go to the bathroom.
I know. Is that true? It must be true.
It's totally true.
Extra points if you know what movie that's from. The wife and I went and did the Void, and and the only one we could do was the Avengers one. So I tried to do either Star Wars.
We were doing that together, you fucking.
Well, dude, the odds of it, dude. Then we should have put it together. So I tried.
The odds of us, not like we don't see each other every fucking week.
Well, you and I, yeah.
Dickweed.
So
What's the Void?
it's the 3D the virtual reality immersion type thing. Think of it like an escape room mixed with VR.
Okay.
So basically, what it is, you put an Oculus Rift on, and you have this vest on, like a haptic feedback vest, and you're in this space, and they've got cameras all around it, and so they're mapping you and your team in real time into this virtual reality space, and so, like in this one part, we're like walking down this like essentially like staircase, but it's like a ramp, not a staircase, and in the real world, we're just like walking in a flat circle in this little square room. But like in the VR, we're like walking down and like everything's changing, and it's like we're walking through like portals and shit. It was super dope. It was crazy fun. But I knew you guys were gonna be super pissed that we went and did it. But that's okay because it was a lot. I want to go back and do Star Wars and Jumanji, but their big thing they're pushing is the Avengers one. That was the only one that we could get times for. That's one that we went and did. And it was.
Did you have 4 different superpowers, or did everybody have the same shit?
No, it's the same shit. So everybody's in a suit. You know, that you can pick your color suit, and then you have the shield, you have a single beam, and you have like a stronger double beam thing. But it's fun though. It really is. Like it's that, and we were talking about it afterwards. It's that willful disillusion. Like, yes, I know I'm walking in circles in this little bitty space, but it feels like I'm actually like walking down and like descending into this like tower essentially.
No, I mean, like I think it would be awesome, right? But I think there was a missed opportunity of not having 4 separate powers, and then like one assigned to each headset. You don't know which one you get because it's random.
So
it's like,
I think that's something for the future. I think I can even with what they've done, I can tell this is the very early stages of this kind of thing, this technology, this whole experience. It is a complete experience. Like I don't feel like I missed out on anything. What was really cool is we ended up getting in these like little like, spaceship flying things, right? And they had 2 steering wheels, 2 different like basically like pods, and my wife and her brother ended up in one and I ended up in the other. Well, a virtual door closed and I can't see them in VR, and not only could I not see them where I knew they were in VR, they were on the other side of me, and so it was this crazy like, holy shit, they're not there anymore, they're over here now. But then like when we docked in 2 different places, my brother-in-law walked through the virtual wall. I was like, okay, I knew you were still there, I just needed to make sure you were still there. But like it's really fucking cool. Like you really feel like you're in a different place, and you can actually see like you see their avatar, and when you reach out and you touch the physical person at the same time, you touch them in VR.
Some of the research I did at Mississippi State was with Oculus on that.
Yeah. So I can tell there is so much more to do with this technology. But this is definitely a really cool, like, first go at something like this. I really think that like the more money gets put into it, the more that VR gets built. Because like there's still like even what they've already accomplished, the fact that I can take my hand, the Oculus sees my hand, I can touch the wall, and there's almost no lag in seeing my avatar touch the wall at the same time. The computing power for that is kind of incredible. But then I definitely think down the road we'll start getting like you were saying, Jason, like you have different roles, like and you're doing different, everybody has doing, and you get even more like an escape room where like everybody's kind of doing their own thing but all working together towards a common goal kind of thing.
And it doesn't have to be even like an Avengers one, right?
Right.
Like, I know that the 3 of us are doing our own thing. Like if they did like a Dungeons and Dragons type, right? Like an RPG type.
That would be
It's like
dope.
Someone's gonna be a tank. Someone's gonna be a DPS.
What was that video game on N64 that we had?
Gauntlet.
Legends.
Yeah, like something like that, where
Yeah.
it's not like you're
But,
not
like-
creating the character, but you can just be like, okay, you're the tank, you're a
Yeah.
healer, you're
Right, and it's like I may end up being the healer, even though that's just luck of the draw, and like Brandon might be the tank,
yeah.
and it's
Like
like
stuff we wouldn't
luck of
normally
the
choose.
draw.
It's
Right.
like, all right, fuck it, we'll
And
just have to learn how to do
Right.
this role. Yeah.
It's a good way to make people come back and pay more money too, because like if it's random like that, you may get tanked twice in a row, and you're like, shit, I have to come back and do it again because I want to be the caster, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see where else it goes. Like I said, I want to do Star Wars and Jumanji and see the differences between the Avengers one and kind of based on what they have now. But that was crazy cool. Right before that, we went and saw Joker because the wife wanted to see it, and save your money because I did not enjoy it.
You don't get it, bro.
I think you guys are two different moviegoers, though.
We are spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, you have 10, 9, 5, 2, 1. Do you think the movie happened? Do you think everything that happened before he's talking to the counselor at the end, do you think it actually happened?
I don't know.
See, that's why
I think that's the problem. Is too many people are trying to figure out if it happens, and that's not the point of the movie.
you ever seen Next with Nicolas Cage?
Nah.
It's literally a 2-hour movie where he wakes up at the end, none of it happens, and he prevents the entire movie from happening. That's kind of how I feel with the Joker. Is we have this 2-hour movie, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, no, you wouldn't get the joke," and then he kills her, and then nothing happened. Like the whole movie didn't happen.
So to me, that's what makes me think the movie did happen, is because if the events in the movie did not happen, he wasn't a murderer. So he wouldn't have just straight up killed his doctor. Or like the events in the movie are what make him
No,
a murderer.
well, see,
or like kill
it
people.
could also be just another one of his stories, right?
Yeah, for
Like,
sure. Definitely could.
There are a million origin stories of Joker,
Right.
And it's like, I'll make this one up. Nah.
So-
Whatever.
Yeah, like it definitely could be that. But a lot of people are like, oh no, he was just crazy the whole time. From a little kid, he was in the hospital, and then. But I was like, yeah, if that was the thing, he probably wouldn't have killed somebody. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
But
It doesn't. To me, that's yeah.
It's like Inception. Is he awake or is he asleep?
But see, the difference
Like,
the difference with that movie is the only thing you don't know is the ending. You know that whole movie happened. You just don't know if
Maybe.
if they
You
got
don't-
out.
No, because it
you
could've
don't
all
know
been a
if-
dream.
Yeah, it could have all been a dream the whole time. So you don't know if any of it happened. They could have always just been.
I guess-
That's the thing about Inception is, because remember they layered it.
Right.
So it was Inception and within Inception within Inception.
Yeah, yeah.
So was that all within another Inception, or was he finally?
All right. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean I give
We
it
just
props.
blew Tank's mind.
It was
Now he's
well-
like, fuck that movie.
No, I still love that movie, but I give it props. You know, it's made a shit ton of money. It was, it was filmed great. I feel like it was acted, it was acted well. But yeah, it was just, I don't know. It's just not my type of movie. And the wife has officially lost her movie picking privileges because neither one of us really liked it. So.
So, I'll get into what I've been doing. So, as you guys know, everybody went ahead and got Disney Plus, except
Yep.
Brandon.
Slacker.
And it's really funny because we were watching Disney Plus today, and they went to Brandon's work.
Which actually the lab
They're
they
in the
went
office.
to. Yeah, the lab they went to is actually in the same building as me too. It's like
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
Wait, did they say they're in Portland? And Kelsey was like, yeah, they're in Portland. I was like, oh shit, this is Brandon. And then I text Brandon. I was like, do you know this guy? He was like, no, but he knows of me apparently. So yeah, like they were. Jeff Goldblum was in Brandon's office.
Oh,
Brandon
this is
had
the
no idea.
world according
It
to
was
Jeff
probably
Goldblum.
before you got there, though.
I
Honestly.
don't think so. I think we might. Jeff Goldblum came to Portland. Sterner said he knew. Sterner was like, yeah, he was here. So like that's what made me be like, because I told my boss is Sterner, and I was like, dude, Jeff Goldblum came here, and he was like, yeah. You didn't know that? And I was like, no, I don't know shit.
That's funny.
Jeff Goldblum, like that shit was so funny because he went to Adidas and they're like making fun of the way he runs. I was like laughing so hard. But
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Also on Disney Plus, they literally have every single Star Wars movie. Okay, every single Star Wars movie minus 8.
It's
But
on Netflix.
yeah, it's on Netflix. So my wife and I, we sit down and we have this joke about, like, you know, our wedding story is like the Star Wars story. But then I just found out that she has never seen Star Wars.
Your wife hasn't?
She
No.
doesn't get the joke.
She doesn't get. She's
She's
part of
gonna
the
watch
joke,
it and
she
be
has no
like,
idea.
"What the fuck? I can't believe you would say that."
Yeah, she told me after we got fucking married. So, so I was like, okay, well, do you want to watch an episode? And she was like, what? I was like, well, it's a movie, but it's called episode. And she was like, well, where do we start? And I was like, well, let's start from the beginning, like when I was a kid. So we started. Now this just shows my wife does not like sci-fi movies. She doesn't like action movies. She doesn't really like the whole dramas, like
She's
in
rom-commer.
action, right? She wants like the rom-com or like something like true, like based on a true story, right?
Documentary or something.
No, not a documentary, but like a movie based on a true story.
Okay.
So we watch episode 4, and you know, like a typical wife, you'd think she'd be like, oh, okay, let me. No, I paused it. She was like, "What'd you pause it for?" She was like, "What? Don't spoil the movie for me." I was like, "I'm sorry, this thing came out like over 40 years ago." She's like, "Just shut up, Jason. Just shut up." So she watches episode 4. All right, that was last night, and then today, after I got done with work, I was like, "All right, well, what do you want to do?" She's like, "Well, let's start dinner and then let's watch the next Star Wars movie."
That's
And
awesome.
I was like, what? Like, who are you? So we started watching it. We paused the movie because we had to do something. And she was like, all right, well, before you guys record, let's, like, finish the movie. I was like, you know that it's going to be pushing right up to that time. You know, she's like, yeah, we can do it. We can do it. So now she has seen 4 and 5.
That's awesome.
And she's like, all right, well, we're going to watch 6 tomorrow. Okay.
Damn.
So
She's all in.
She's involved. And she's like, wait, should I have started with episode 1? I was like, nah, you're good. Nah, you good.
I definitely think she should watch it though.
No,
Yeah.
we're gonna watch all the movies, but we're gonna
Yeah.
do it the way they came out.
Really sort of.
Yeah.
Because when people are like, "Oh yeah, you can just watch the old ones," I'm like, "That's not.
No.
That's kind of dumb. Like you can hate a movie as much as you want, but like the story still exists. Like it's still part of the story."
Right.
No, you could watch just 4, 5, and 6, and then go into the 7, 8, 9. But
Yeah, you could, but you don't know the whole story.
but with us going to Disney, right, and like the whole Order of the Jedi thing, and like all that stuff going on there, she's gonna be so lost if she doesn't. And that's what I was thinking about today. Like, even though I don't like episode 1 through 3, it's like they have key elements of the story.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how else would you know that there was this huge Jedi council? You wouldn't.
Yeah.
You would have
Right.
no idea if you started with 4 and went straight to 9. You would have no idea that, like, because I just watched it again today, when Luke starts training with Yoda and Yoda goes, no, he's too old.
Right.
Like, you're like,
You don't know what a youngling is. Like that doesn't mean anything to you.
Yeah.
yeah, you're like,
But also,
okay.
like, Yoda's in the old movies, like, there's like talk of like, oh yeah, Yoda is great or whatever. Like old Ben's like, oh yeah, he's like the master or whatever. But like until you see the prequel movies, you're just like, yeah, he's just like some weird puppet that you see for like a couple scenes, and
Right.
like, yeah, he makes him strong or whatever, like trains him or whatever. But he's not like in the prequels. Yoda becomes a badass.
Yeah.
Really. Like that's
Well,
where
they're
it's like,
also-
oh, he actually fought a bunch, and he actually
Right.
did have like a huge say.
Him
in-
and Dick. Yeah. Him and
Yeah.
Dooku. The him and
yeah.
Dooku fight.
Before that, it's just like almost stories, and it's kind of not buried, but like the stories aren't super great. Like they're not super easy to understand.
Right.
Yeah, if someone didn't dive into the fan fiction, right,
Yeah.
and they just watched the movies, by the time they got to episode 7, 8, and 9, they'd be like, I don't.
Why do they
how did
keep
that
talking
happen?
about this? Yeah, why do they keep
Right.
talking about Yoda?
Yeah, like, what is this? You know, like, because even like, and it blows my mind. right? Because I watched episode 4, and Luke is saying, "Oh wait, you fought in the Clone Wars," and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, they actually did plan it out. All right.
I was like, "Damn, like, okay," because that shit's what
in between
how
1 and 2.
How far was that 25 years separated?
Something like that.
25, yeah, about 25 years separated.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Because he was just that little. Wait, you fought in the Clone Wars?
Well, that's kind of what the whole that's another thing I like about the prequels, because like I'm not on the bandwagon of like hating on the prequels 100%. I'm
not on a bandwagon.
I'm not a huge fan, but like
bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them, obviously, but like I don't think they're as bad as most people think. They're like the worst movies ever to come out. But it's like they take such little like tidbits from the old movies, and then they made prequels and made TV shows and stuff like that out of it, and that's so cool to me. It's like this small stuff that the prequels actually like, oh yeah, we're gonna make like a full thing about this, or like a full story about this, or like, oh, when they mentioned this certain person or this aspect or this world, we have the like money, we have the equipment or whatever, CGI and stuff, and we can make this super futuristic world and like all this crazy shit that they barely mentioned.
To me, it's just kind of like it's eye-opening. It's like watching Fight Club again, right? Like when you watch Fight Club the 9th time. Because if you haven't seen Fight Club at least 15 times,
you don't know.
You have no fucking clue.
I can't. I can't, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you, like
I watched it a lot.
I think I've only seen it twice.
Dude, you have no clue. Like
that movie's so fucked up.
Every time I watch it, I learn more and more about it.
I do that with The Matrix.
It's so fucking deep. Like Fight Club is so fucking deep.
Yeah.
But
5 More Days of Summer, dude.
Okay. Like when I watch Star Wars now, and I'm catching all these little things. Like I don't even say anything to my wife about it because she has no clue.
Right.
She's like, "What's the Clone Wars?" It's like, trick, you wouldn't understand. Like, oh please. But then like, I also catch things, and I didn't stay quiet for that, but where it was like, Obi-Wan was like, "Oh, Yoda, you trained me." And I was like, "No, he fucking didn't. Like, maybe when you were a kid, bitch. What about Qui-Gon? You fucking traitor. You fucking traitor."
Which you're talking about the fights, dude. The Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan.
No, okay. That was the only fight.
Ray Park, what's his name?
There were maybe 2
Darth
or 3
Maul.
fights out of the first 3 movies that were like decent. But okay, the fight choreography between, and this is where it's like so convoluted, right? So like between 4 through 6, the choreography for lightsaber battles was based off of like knights.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like very static. They're swinging, blah blah blah, whatever. 1 through 3 is based on fucking ninjas and bullshit, like anime style.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
But also like for movies,
No, because
I get to an extent like a lot of realism is awesome, but like if you do like take Daredevil into consideration, like every hallway fight scene, they're very realistic, but they're drawn out and they're done in a very cinematic way.
Right.
And I think that's one thing that like the original 3 weren't able to do, and the prequels weren't able to do either because they went way unrealistic.
They went way too far.
'Cause-
I think
it's like needs to be somewhere in the middle. But
4 through 6 didn't go far enough.
yeah,
Like their lightsaber fights were bad.
Yeah.
Okay, but they didn't go far enough. But it's not like there was enough story there to hold you in. And
yeah,
the
because they're like
lightsaber
talking
fights weren't
through it.
even like the highlights.
Right.
Right. 1 through 3, they went too far.
Yeah,
Like they went way too far.
So I look at it this way, right? They make 4, 5, and 6, and in 4, 5, and 6, they're like I have this many ideas and this much budget, right? When they make 4, 5, and 6 make a fuck ton of money, and now they're like, oh, we're making 1, 2, and 3. I have this much idea and this much money, and I'm gonna go buck wild. And so I'm gonna do everything I wish I could have done in 4, 5, and 6, except they just overshot it because everybody realized they're like, oh, some of that realism was okay.
Yeah, which I think that's also partially, in my opinion, due to like people not understanding criticism. Right? Or like not really understanding what people want when they say something's bad, because they probably were like, okay, what could we improve on from the original 3 and the next 3? And they're probably like, yeah, have better lightsaber battles. Like they're supposed to be, you know, Jedis and masters of the swords, and then they just like kind of swing it 3 times like this, and then they fucking die. And they're like, yeah, do that better. And then they just like were like, all right. Fuck it, Hail Mary.
You want to do 8 backflips, bitch?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was right when CGI was really taking off, you know. So they're like, cool, we're gonna push this as far as we can.
Yeah,
and just overshot it.
Matrix.
I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I think 4 through 6 was too little. I think 1 through 3 was too much. But I do think that in episode 7, I'm not gonna say episode 8 because I don't really like the fights in episode 8. Actually, I do.
Dude, the one with Kylo Ren, dude.
That throne room
where Kylo puts that lightsaber through.
Yeah, the throne room is one of my favorite.
Like that was a badass
fighting
scene.
Yeah, that was a fucking dope fight.
I love the fight scenes in 7. Okay, I'll say 8, 7 and 8. Like especially where Finn is fighting the stormtrooper.
Yeah,
that was a good one because it showed that like, oh, he was a stormtrooper and he knows his shit. He's not just like a little bitch.
And we got to see new weapons. We got to see a whole bunch of new stuff. But it was like 7 felt like they were giving us everything we wanted out of 4, 5, and 6, 1 through 3.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, is this good?
Right.
It's like the Goldilocks thing, right? They did way too little, they did way too much, and they're like, oh, it's somewhere in the middle. So now we know kind of our range. Let's shoot there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will take back my previous statement. Episode 8, Kylo Ren putting that lightsaber through dude's face.
Sick.
That whole fight scene from the time he cuts dude in half, you know, is like as soon as he's talking about new weapons, right? All the Red Guards have different weapons, and they're all having to like that. That whole fight scene was just incredible.
I was talking about this today, I think, to Alex. Maybe it was yesterday. My biggest gripe with the new ones isn't story related at all, or it is story related, I guess. I'd say that. It's not like the current story though, but like in 7, they hyped up the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
And like gave us a flash, and I was like, dude, this is gonna be sick. If they don't come in the next one, I'm gonna be so
Well, like they still have hyped them up. Like I still see shit where people are like, oh, the Knights of Ren, the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, I see people like cosplaying as the Knights of Ren, like all this stuff, and I'm like, where are you getting these ideas? Is it just from that one flash
scene? They're not gonna show them. They're never gonna show them because, like, okay, episode 9.
It's like present tense.
Who would fight them?
But like Ren? The thing is, like, what happened to them? Like I need this story. Like,
yeah,
Kylo just fucking murders people and runs away with the Knights of Ren, and now he's just around. Like, now he just like works for the army and is like, oh yeah, sick, I'm by myself. What up? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, are they?
In other news, sorry, Star Wars rabbit hole. This is probably gonna take us down another one. I'm sorry. I watched The Mandalorian and. Tank, have you watched both episodes?
No, I watched the first episode.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but so it comes out each week.
Right, it comes out on Fridays.
Yeah, it comes out Fridays. So I have watched both episodes. I watched the first episode, lost my shit. Like, loved it.
Really?
Oh, dude. It's so badass.
I mean, it was cool.
It's badass. And especially at the end, I started yelling, and my wife was like, why are you yelling? I was like, ho, please. So the second one, I got super, super mad. I mean, it was decent, but there were so many times where I was like, that's so unreal. Like, really? No, I watched that bitch fall. Not believing it. And my wife was even like, how did that happen? I was like, okay, if you're doubting, Now we have problems.
Yeah.
But I got even angrier when it was over because the first episode was 42 minutes and the second episode is only 33.
Oh, really? That's weird.
So if we're only getting 30-minute episodes,
yeah, that's good.
And they built this up to be like, hey, we're finally getting a live action. Shit, Arrow can go for fucking 45 minutes. Are you kidding me?
Trash.
Yeah, like, the fuck kind of story does Arrow have to tell? Give me a Mandalorian story that's an hour long, 45 minutes minimum.
Yeah.
Each episode. Give me a good story. Don't give me this 30-minute bullshit.
There's like fan videos on YouTube just like breaking, like just the history of Mandalorians that are like fucking 2 hours long.
So I will say
just
this.
someone just talking about lore.
I will say this, Brandon, and this might take the wind out of your sails a little bit, but I see everywhere now, and I love it so much that people are making what Brandon would call a meme out of, I'm a Mandalorian. Weapons are in my religion. Now they have like remixes. They have like songs about it. They've got like.
Jeez.
I've only seen the Baby Yoda meme.
No, they're Baby Yoda memes, but it's also.
But like I don't read it. Like there'll be a thing that's like, oh, explaining this meme, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna read that because I don't want to spoil the fucking show for me.
Right, right.
But yeah, the Mandalorian, they're like, put your weapons, leave your weapons here, and he's like, I'm a Mandalorian. They're a part of my religion. Like, I was like, wait. I want to be no more Jedi Knight. Now we need a Mandalorian religion. I am in. Is it slightly chaotic, but not that bad. All right, Brandon, what did you do this week?
I don't think I did anything.
Good talk.
That's good.
Yeah, I really don't know of anything I did. It's like the same shit. Like
That's
watching.
when you smoke weed.
Yeah. Watching like whatever that fucking show is. Yeah, Vinland Saga.
Oh, Vinland Saga.
They were like late coming out with one of the episodes, so it kind of pissed us off. The new episode was sick though, like for sure worth it. Yeah, Watchmen. I'm like caught up on Watchmen.
Okay.
Still don't.
I am not caught up on Watchmen.
I don't know what the fuck is going on, dude. I am so lost. We're like, oh, it's gonna click one of these days, and we're still just like, I fucking don't know what's happening.
Definitely gonna wait and binge that one.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be like the last
Kelsey and I
episode.
are doing. But I also
of
feel like you'd have to watch it like multiple times.
Yeah, it's also one of those things where it's like small stuff. It's like, oh, they were stealing batteries. Okay.
Oh shit, those were AAAs, not AAs. Did you catch that shit? Did you catch that shit?
Yeah, it's like, oh, watch batteries? That makes sense. It's
no.
shit like,
See, I like that sometimes. Sometimes I like that.
Yeah, but the problem
Sometimes
is I don't know what the fuck is happening yet.
But see, like
that's what I don't.
Some days you get home and you're like, you know what? I want brainless, like Home Improvement, Seinfeld,
Right.
like Modern Family. Like I want brainless entertainment right now.
Yeah.
And then some days you get home and you're like, I'm the smartest motherfucker on earth. Let's watch Billions. Like, let's watch some shit that's gonna fuck my mind up.
Yeah, so I love that stuff more, I think, when you can either binge it or it's a movie.
Yeah.
But when you just like watch it and you
when
don't
you have to wait.
Yeah, when you watch it and you don't get it because you don't have everything's not there for you to get. You're just like, fuck, okay, I'm so confused at why this person even exists. But like now I still gotta
Kelsey
wait.
hates that shit.
Yeah, so now I still gotta wait to see why they exist. And it's not even like super intriguing for some of the people because they're like, you can tell they're going to be awesome characters, but you're like, yeah, how you brought it in was so confusing and I don't know who they are yet. And then you just like leave them. And then like I'll see them in like 3 episodes or something.
Kelsey says
I love it.
If I could retain like basic information the way that I retain nonsense, I'd probably be a billionaire. Because like when we watch shows, I'm like, oh no. Remember like 4 weeks ago when that happened? She's like, why would you remember that?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Like I just
my
do.
brain works that way. Like I can quote movie lines for days. But it's like, my wife's like, yeah, we talked about this literally an hour ago. I was like, I believe you, but it's not up there.
That's why we got married.
Yeah.
I totally trust you.
Yeah, I tell her that all the time. I believe you. You are. I have no doubt what you are saying is true. I have no recollection of that whatsoever.
See, I just go, no, you're right.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you're just saying that. No. Seriously. Like, do you even remember?
Nope.
No.
But I believe that you said what you said when you said it.
No, you're right. All right, so since Brandon can't remember, and Naru's not on, we were gonna bash Naru for getting the Google Stadia for fucking no reason.
I remember we talked about it, but what actually is it?
It's a streaming video game service.
Nah, you can miss me with that shit.
Conceptually, it sounds cool. I don't
think Google is gonna hit it.
That's on every.
I think PlayStation, Xbox, Apple, Android.
Nintendo.
No. Hear me out, because Apple's already tried. Like, they've released Apple Arcade. I think that they have enough to do it. Google's never done video games ever.
Yeah. Well.
So it's like, why would first party producers put their shit on Google Stadia? I mean, and some are, but it's kind of like those that are on every single system.
Right.
Like, they do not have a Halo.
Right.
They do not have a God of War.
Yeah, and I don't think they will for a while. It's like,
exactly.
It's just.
But how many times have we seen a system, even from big name companies, fail?
Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast, which the Dreamcast was great.
Sure.
Like, if
For
you
what it
looked
was.
at it, right? If you looked at it for specs, it was good. The PlayStation Vita.
Oh yeah.
It was a fucking Nintendo Switch.
Pretty much, yeah. I guess it kind of was.
I mean,
the Wii U failed horribly.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, and
I'm
saying, like, Google is like, oh, we're gonna launch this. It's the first of its kind. It's blah blah blah. I think it's revolutionary.
Sure.
But at the same time, I don't think that I'm gonna wait until Xbox does theirs.
Well, Microsoft's already playing with it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like it's that revolutionary. I don't know.
Well,
because like the idea of like streaming like paying a single amount of money to play a ton of video games, streaming, right? That whatever,
right,
exists. Like you can get it on Nintendo where you pay $7 and you can play all the old Nintendo games. Like,
but it's current
it's,
titles, so it's like
$15
$15 a month, and it's
that's the only difference is like. Yeah, it's
you don't have to buy a system.
Like titles that are like multiple, Xbox or PlayStation.
But I can play Google Stadia on here.
Right. It's platform agnostic. Yeah, you can anything that has an internet connection, you can get to your game that you've been playing, your exact same save file, and keep going with your game with Google Stadia.
So your cell phone, your desktop.
You're limited by your internet connection, TV. Essentially.
Yeah.
And you do not pay at all for a system.
Right.
So it's $14 a month. You play AAA titles, but
I don't know.
I think there's going to be problems.
Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be problems. I mean,
and
shit. Look at. I mean, Disney Plus. They already have a streaming service with ESPN, and they still fuck the shit up on rollout. Like the day, you know what I'm saying? Like.
Oh, and they have Hulu. Like, they know how to stream.
And I saw they did a test run in, like, Norway or somewhere where, like, they did, like, a pretty, some kind of significantly scaled initial rollout before, and they still tripped over the finish line. Like, I don't, so, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't think it's going to, like, change the face of gaming, but I definitely think it'll, like, sneak in there. I mean, like, look at the Switch, right? The Switch... arguably, I mean, it's different. They're doing kind of their own thing, but like it's just kind of floating alongside PlayStation and Xbox,
so
right? It's not like
I think, don't quote me, but I think that this is going to be a lot like Sega Genesis and Sega Game Gear. It's a step in the right direction. It's not. Sega Game Gear was a huge flop.
Yeah.
Even though the Game Boy at the time didn't even have fucking color.
Right.
The Game Gear, the Sega Game Gear, which Brandon and I had, I think we had 2 of them.
I think I had one.
It was like, what was it, 16-bit? While the Game Boy is still 8-bit.
Yeah.
It was color. Game Boy was green and black.
And ninjas.
Like it was amazing, but it didn't sell, and it just didn't do well.
Right.
But it changed the format for handhelds.
Down the road.
The Sega Genesis changed the format for consoles.
Yep.
I think that 10 years from now, 10, 15 years from now, there won't be consoles. It'll be like, hey, Xbox, whatever. This is our platform and this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
PlayStation, whatever. Or maybe there's going to be some hybrid where third parties are just doing it themselves, like Fortnite. Yeah, but I think it's a step in the right direction. I don't think it's I don't think they're
going to come in and steal the market. Yeah, they're not going to come in and steal the market. Everybody's not going to like drop what they're doing and flock to Stadia.
No,
I think it's going to be a very niche market. It's going to be for the people who want to be different.
And it's not going to be for hardcore gamers.
No,
because there is no way that it is streaming, and you can be competitive. Like, because Brandon knows, because Brandon started playing Super Smash.
Yeah.
There are people who study frame rates and all of this stuff. There's no way you can do that on the Stadium.
No.
Because I have different internet than you do.
Right.
So there's no way
that
you can have competitive gaming at that level on the Stadia.
So PC gaming, it suffers the same thing, right? Look at like games like League of Legends and CS:GO. If basically it's just if you want to be at that level, you pay for the internet and the monitors that have
hardware, right? Like the hardware that you have has to meet certain criteria,
right?
But you're telling me that I can compete on Stadia on my iPhone, and you're going to be playing on your gaming desktop.
No, it's the same thing with Fortnite, right? Fortnite players on PC, even if you're in a room with Xbox players, the PC players almost always going to have an advantage.
Oh yeah.
So it's the same. It's the same idea, right?
But that's not competitive, because when they have competitive Fortnite, like the tournaments, everyone is PC.
Right.
Yeah. I think competitive Stadia held events would probably all be PC.
Yeah. I agree with that. So
if they were to have if Stadia was like hosting whatever, a Fortnite, whatever, they would just have a bunch of PCs. They wouldn't be like, show up with what you got.
Right.
Play on your phone, have fun with it.
Yeah.
Dude, I have seen some janky esports where they do that. So let's get away from Stadia, because I'm not buying Stadia. By buying it, I mean the subscription.
Yeah.
I got Disney Plus. I'm not doing that. Brandon's already spoke his 2 cents. He's not doing it either. Naru is getting one, but I think Stadia launched like last week. He bought the Founders package,
and he still
hasn't gotten it.
Yeah.
Like that's
the Founders package.
It was just the level that he bought.
Yeah, he paid $130 for a special controller. And Stadia is cool where you can use like any Bluetooth controller.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have their controller, and it's free. So that's cool. But he paid for their controller and a Google Chrome. I believe Stadia came out last week. It was supposed to launch on the 11th. Whether it has or hasn't, I don't know. Don't care about it. But he hasn't even received his Founders package.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So that, just saying.
But
let's get away from that until we have a little bit more to go on. Once Naru has his, hell, who knows? He may say it's the best. We may see a ton of reviews later. and then maybe all of us will have it. Who knows? But let's get into tonight's topic, and let's get into what is your personal favorite gaming console or system of all time?
Easy.
Tank, do you want to go first? 'Cause
Sure.
I think you already have yours.
Literally his shirt, all the walls, and his.
Literally everything Tank has ever done in his life.
Dude, I am a Nintendo.
Has on his body.
Yeah, dude. Like, I am a Nintendo fanboy, and I will say,
one system.
And that's fine, and I am, and I'm gonna have an honorable mention because I think what Nintendo did in the handheld arena, they did before anybody else. Like, they were the originators in handheld gaming, and really kind of set the pace. But for me, the Nintendo 64 was
I knew you would choose that.
dude. Like, Ocarina of Time alone set the stage for what 3D gaming could be.
You have, Sean.
Bro, what my ass, dude? Donkey Kong 64, Mario 64, Mario Kart, Bond. Like,
I'm saying you always turn to Zelda.
well, of course, because it's the fucking best. Like, me and the wife are playing through Breath of the Wild right now. Like, don't even get me started on Nintendo. I'm trying to keep it to N64. But I mean, look, James Bond GoldenEye set the stage for first-person shooters. Mario 64 set the stage for like adventure games, along with Zelda's like the puzzle adventure games. Like, Ocarina of Time like changed the way that games work in 3D. Nintendo has always been at the forefront of gaming. They're always doing something different. They're always setting their own pace. And Nintendo 64 is really, I mean, yeah, you've got the NES, you've got Super Nintendo, where they were doing some cool, they were the first ones doing some really cool stuff too. And then Sega started coming in, and you got these other things here and there. But then, like I said, the N64, man, they really, really stepped up in a big way and did some really cool shit for gaming. And I mean, you can't. They're the OG, man. They're doing. That's where it all started.
All right, B, what's your favorite gaming system of all time?
I don't know.
Tight, dude.
I have two. I have two. Mine are just like super nostalgic though. It's nothing to do with like how good they are at all. Like, for sure.
Neither is mine.
I also don't want to say both of mine because I think you might say one.
I have two as well.
It's like,
so
you
let's
guys.
all do one, and then we'll go.
I might just say my two, and then you can say your two after me, and then you're copying me.
Well, we'll say one, and then I'll say one, and then Tank says honorable mention. You say honorable mention. I kind of
did mine. So.
All right. Then my first one is probably the Game Boy Advanced.
Sure.
And it's not even. It was awesome. Don't get me wrong. It was very ahead of its time when it came out, or whatever.
That awesome form factor.
Yeah, but like that time in my life, I was like in the car a ton.
Yeah.
So it's just like the games I had on that were the games I played more than like any video. Like, I don't even play video games.
Advanced Wars Tactics? Are you fucking kidding me?
Like, I don't play. Like, I have like video game systems or whatever, and I enjoy playing video games, but I don't play video games that often. I guess like, I'm not playing video games every day. I'm not, for sure. I use my systems to like watch like whatever, Netflix. But yeah, like that time in my life, I was just grinding through Pokemon.
Hell yeah.
Like, I remember I got the SP came out, the SP, and it wasn't that big of a step. The best thing ever though was like, I was also in the car a lot at night, and you would have the fucking huge contraption coming off your thing.
Yeah.
The SP was backlit. That was the first handheld video game system. And I remember, I think I got my report card, and I got in like all A's, I think. And I showed my mom, and I was like having a shit day or something. Something weird was happening. So she was like, "Oh, we can go to Toys R Us right now." and
yeah.
you can use your like report card, because I would get bribed for report cards, so I made enough money on my report card to just straight out buy a SP or whatever.
That's awesome.
For the year. And she was like, yeah, you could like cash in if you want and buy it if you want, and I'll take you over there. And I was like, for sure. And then as a gift, maybe it was like my birthday or something, I don't know, but regardless, as a gift I bought like the SP, and then my mom got me Pokemon Sapphire.
Yep.
And the freaking like guidebook though.
Oh, nice.
Which I didn't even use like the guide part of it. I used the like Pokedex.
Tips and tricks.
Oh yeah.
Well, because like, and I do this with all Pokemon games, I don't really care about like finishing the Pokemon game. I'm just trying to like build cool teams and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would like look in the Pokedex and go, oh, this person's tight. Where are they at? And I would just like go find them to like make this new team or whatever. But yeah, that was like huge for me. It was like getting Sapphire, and I had a bunch of other stuff on like just the regular Game Boy Advance before that came out and stuff too. So very go on my life.
I'm gonna say the Game Boy Color.
Yeah,
dude, nice.
Because I like Brandon.
Got that gold and silver.
When I got the Game Boy Color, I had a teal Game Boy Color, and Brandon had like a green. So we both had Game Boy Colors. He had like some kind of fluorescent green, and I had like a teal.
Get that.
Which is kind of why I want the teal Nintendo Switch Lite. Because I'm that nostalgic about this color.
Yeah.
But I do remember staying at my grandmother's house, and I told my wife this the other day, because she was like, Jason, you're 30 years old. Why do you want you're 31. Why do you want the new Pokemon game?
What? Because I've been playing since I was 8.
Like, you don't understand. I put so many hours. Like, I was laying on my grandmother's couch. I'll never forget. And I had the Game Boy Color like this. And I was riding a fucking Lapras 10 times around this fucking island. So whatever was in my 10th spot would get 99 Master Balls.
Yeah.
And then you would go catch fucking Mewtwo. And it's like, I was not going to fight anybody with it, because back then you had to have the fucking link cord and shit, but then you could brag.
Yep.
Right? You're like, oh, dude, I caught fucking Mewtwo.
Yep.
I
got unknown, or like the no number or whatever it
was.
was.
Like,
oh yeah, that little
fourth grade.
Yeah.
Like 4th grade or something like that. But I will never forget just putting hours and hours and hours into Pokemon Red. And before that, like, so I grew up in a house that was like, we had the Nintendo, had the Sega Genesis.
We actually had all those video games growing up. Like,
but our
out of the
dad,
shit that we didn't have, we had video games.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but when you have a console, our dad would play the console and get really good at those games. Like,
even the N64, dude.
No, Nintendo 64 went in our room, but
he was way better than me at like all those games. I would just watch him play Mario 64. So
yeah,
like, I just remember trying to play Mortal Kombat, and he would always beat me.
Yeah.
So I didn't have fun with the Sega Genesis. I know what it did, but I didn't have fun with it.
Yeah.
Like, we'd play Contra together. And then he would always be complaining because I was so far behind, so I didn't have fun with the regular Nintendo. But the Game Boy, that was mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was the one doing everything, and my dad didn't play it. So Game Boy Color is my number one. The teal Game Boy Color. And from there, I went on to get Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Ruby. Like, Brandon always got, we always...
I had Gold and Sapphire.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think I had one of the originals. I think we shared Red, and then
we shared Red.
Yellow later.
Yeah, you got Yellow eventually.
Yeah, we shared Red, and then you got Yellow later. I never had the original one. The first one that was actually mine.
I didn't like Yellow though, because I don't like Pikachu.
Yeah.
I think Pikachu's shitty.
Although the sprite for Pikachu in Red and Blue is kind of incredible.
Fat.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny.
It's fat Pikachu.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Even the original anime is fat.
Yeah.
The card, fat.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and Brandon and I already last week we were like, all right, we're splitting it down the middle. Who's getting what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like we always, because you can buy both, but it's like we always do it, and we never trade. Like we never
we always buy both, like each, and then we're like, oh yeah, we'll like trade the ones we want, and we've never maybe like once or twice we've done it,
right?
But like, no.
See, it's funny. So story time, right? I remember growing up. I guess it would have been. I feel like I think it was the Game Boy Color. So I guess it would have been probably either Pokemon Gold or Silver. I think it was Gold for some reason. I remember playing that game, the shit out of that game, right? And like put so much time, because Jason and I were talking about doing some Pokemon stuff now on emulators where you can just fast forward and you can just like grind, and it takes like a quarter of the time because I'm too lazy for it now. But no, back then you had to walk in circles and spend hours trying to get your guys up to level to beat the Elite Four. And so,
dude, and now they have and now you have the internet, right? So if you guys are listening to the show and you're like, oh, why didn't you guys just know to go to Route 16 and fight for EVs and IVs? It's like, nah, bitch, there was no internet back then.
No,
EVs and IVs existed back then, but like you had to be elite to figure that shit out.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So
back then there were no status. Like I didn't fuck with status.
Right.
I was like, what does the most damage?
Yeah.
And now when I build my teams, I'm like, all right, I need a place setter. I need this. I need this. I need this. Like there are different goals.
So
to be played in the team.
Hours into this game, and I would always, and we to this day, this is how we do it. I beat the game. I was like, all right, I'm done. I handed it to my dad. I was like, all right, Dad, it's your turn. And I would sit and watch him go, new game. Do you want to delete the old data? And I'm like, ugh. And he would hit yes, and I'm like, fuck, dude, all that time. And it's all right, it's his turn. Like we had, we only had one Game Boy.
I ain't restarting shit. I've never restarted.
I'm like, fuck you. Like I no way.
I have restarted a Pokemon game, but like
I
the
can't.
additional ones, no.
But like that's like it was Dad's turn. So like he deleted my game, and it was his turn to play it, and he plays it from the beginning.
So Brandon has nieces and nephew. Tank has children. I have children. So we're all like sentimental about these children, like kind of doing what we do, right? So my oldest daughter, she's reading. She's super smart, and she was like, "Dad, I want to play Pokemon." And I was like, "Okay."
Are you
okay? So I was playing Pokemon Sun, right?
Okay.
She had a 2DS. So I was like, here, you can play Omega Ruby.
Good one. That's a good one.
Dude, that game
is a good one.
That might be my favorite game.
I like Ruby and Sapphire a lot.
I tried to make a baby to beat the Elite Four.
Omega means I can get Mega.
Yeah, Mega.
Yeah.
Mega Evolutions.
Okay, go ahead.
She was like, "Oh, Dad, do I start a new game?" No, don't do that. Do you not see I have 90 hours in that? Just play on what Daddy did.
That's hilarious.
There's no story to this game. Just play on what Dad did. Like I couldn't. I love her. I love my kids. I could not let them delete my Pokemon game.
That's so funny.
It's about time you got bought. All right. Here's something I'm going to look up immediately when we get off of recording this shit. Or if anybody is watching live, put it in the chat. Does Sword and Shield like have multiple save slots? Like it's technically like a console game.
I guess you'd be able to do different because you can do different Switch profiles because that's so. Funnily enough, so
shitty. You can't just be like load game and then go to like Brandon, Jason,
right.
Right. Like every fucking game you can do that except Pokemon. Like
it's before. I bet you can now because the wife started playing Breath of the Wild and I just put her on my profile because that was what was on there. But she got like an hour into it and I'm like, fuck, I want to play Breath of the Wild again. So I was like, fuck it. So I created her a profile on my Switch so that if she has games down the road that she wants to play, she can play them on her profile. But I started playing Breath of the Wild on her profile. So now we've got two Breath of the Wild saves going, for each of us. So
that's so crazy that you have to create a new profile on the Switch.
Switch to do it right.
Instead of just like in game, you can just be like, which one do you want to load? Like fucking Madden. the lowest of low of like technology video games. You can just be like, oh, you know what? I want to play this one where I'm the Los Angeles Rams instead of the Browns. Like, you can do that.
So,
not Pokemon, the best video game to ever come out.
I have heard, and this upset me when I heard it, that now Pokemon is switching to autosave.
Oh.
Yeah, that was also a big thing.
Yeah, I've thrown my Game Boy onto my bed as hard as I could so many times because I was so pissed that I forgot to save it, but I knew I couldn't break the Game Boy, so I was like, fuck it, I'll throw it on my bed.
Dude, I'm saying for those times where you're like, all right, I need to save before I go.
Yeah.
Right before I fight the gym leader. Right before I catch Articuno.
Yep.
You save.
I caught Articuno. This is like the worst story ever. With a fucking Pokeball, dude.
Dude, that's
I was like fighting him for like an hour, right?
Yeah.
Doing just status, had an Onyx or Steelix or Onyx, I can't remember. I think it was Onyx because Steelix was like
yeah.
But yeah, it had Onyx out with like 1,000,000 health and was just like, fuck it. Just like throwing timer balls, like going crazy.
Yeah.
Wasted everything I had, but like I've never used a Master Ball. I think that's trash. And I was just throwing everything I had at it, right? Last one, fucking regular ass Pokeball caught Articuno, and I was like,
that's
this
so
was
funny.
a leaf green. And I was like, sick, yeah, I got this shit, died. Like I was like reading the like Pokedex entry. I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm so fucking hyped."
Shit died on you.
My friend Ty was with me because like he was doing the same thing. I was so hyped on it, and like, cause like we would be hanging out playing like we would hang out to play Pokemon.
Yeah.
Dude, Pokemon is like real.
Yeah, you're not playing like against each other. You're not doing it. You're just playing a game.
Yeah.
Sitting near somebody. So you can be like, dude, look what I just got. Oh, dude, this battle is fucking crazy. Look at this. So, like, you're not even playing each other. You're playing in the same vicinity.
I think it was for Pokemon Sun. They had like their official trailer, right? And it was like this kid from Japan moved to Hawaii, and he's like doesn't know anyone, and they're all playing Pokemon together. But like they weren't fighting; they were just playing Pokemon next to each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really what like.
That's what it was.
That's what it used to be, man.
Yeah.
Like, do you want a battle? Nah. It's like
I'm in the middle of trying to. I'm just trying to grind so I can like get the gym. Which I'm not a fan of Sun. Like I've tried multiple times to play Sun. I did a
Moon, right?
Yeah, I had Moon.
Yeah, I beat Moon.
Moon and Sun and Moon. I tried to do the Nuzlocke challenge too on it, like to like regain interest, and I was way more interested in it when I was doing that because you run into the first Pokemon on the route and you accidentally fucking kill it, or the first Pokemon on the route is an Abra, so you're just it runs away.
Yeah.
And now you gotta wait until like you're just like, all right, that's the only place I can catch Pokemon until there's the end of this after I fight this gym leader. So I got one Pokemon to fight the fucking
yeah. Oh, dude.
How they had their like where you can find what like kind of fucked me.
All right, so let's go through and do our honorable mentions.
All right.
What's your next system?
Well, it was gonna be Game Boy, and I kind of mentioned it in my initial pitch, because like that's really, I mean, that was my life. Like I owned a PS1, maybe a PS2, I think, but like I've never owned any of the current PlayStation. I've never owned an Xbox. I don't think I think my aunt, like my cousins, had a Dreamcast. So for me, really, it was N64 and Game Boy. Game Boy was the big one because that was like way more affordable, and like we could have two so that me and my brother could play at the same time.
Yeah.
So and then that's why I've always been a Nintendo fanboy. But N64 and the Game Boys and just in general have always been.
So you're not a Nintendo fanboy by choice, but it's because that's all you've ever known.
Pretty much. I mean, I've played, right? Like I've been to my friend's house. Like my friend had a Sega Genesis that we played the shit out of. Like Street Fighter was the like most fun fucking game
just
ever.
Punching a car for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Hadouken!
And Streets of Rage was another dope ass game. I talked about that the other week. And like I played Halo. Like my buddy had an Xbox, we played Halo and shit. But like I remember, like you were saying, like playing Pokemon. Like I actually missed my bus stop one time because my buddy brought his Game Boy and Pokemon on the bus, and like as soon as we got, like, we would like run from school, get on the bus, get on the back seat, he'd start playing and I was watching, and next thing I know, he gets up to get off to his bus stop. Well, he gets off like 6 stops after I do, and like he's like, okay, cool, I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm like, fuck, I was supposed to get off 6 stops ago. So I went to the bus driver and I was like, hi. And she's like, so she had like wait, and like when she dropped all the kids off, go back and drop me off at my bus stop. Yeah, so I'm all about. So Nintendo will always hold a special place in my heart. So that's all. That's all. In fact, I'm trying to get my wife to get me a USB N64 controller to hook up to my desktop so I can start doing some emulation stuff. Yeah, dude.
They have some that are like N64 style.
Yeah.
I think I've seen them for the Switch.
Yeah,
oh, really?
I saw that for the Switch.
Okay.
Yeah. You can get like a N64 thing to like play like Mario Kart on the Switch or whatever.
Yeah. Because like, I talked about this the other week. I want to play Donkey Kong 64 now that I'm an adult and actually like beat it and understand how the game works.
You can appreciate that music.
Yeah, dude.
All right, Brandon, what's your honorable mention?
PlayStation 2.
I think that's I don't know if I owned a 1, but I know I owned a 2.
Classic.
Yeah, the biggest thing about the 2
was how fucking big the console was.
Yeah. The biggest thing about that for me, and I also think it's just like kind of a time in my life type thing.
Yeah.
When I had that was Jason and I were home a lot alone when it was that timeline of like the PS2. It was kind of before Jason was like out and dating or like out with like older people, or because he like couldn't drive yet.
Yeah.
You know, like so he wasn't like going to hang out with other people. And I was also the shitty little brother where I was like, oh, you're going to hang out with them? Take me along. And I was also and so this was the time where it's like when we were home alone together, like that's what we did. Like if we weren't like beating the shit out of each other or like on the trampoline doing other stuff, like that's what we did. And like that was like really, really cool to me. So a lot of my memories of playing video games mainly are like, even though I've had like every system almost like since then or whatever, is like PlayStation 2 stuff of like Midnight Club or fucking
Need for Speed,
Time Crisis.
They were all like race games. And that was also like when I learned to really like cars, because like we played like Gran Turismo and stuff like that. We were really like building cars out. So like that was also how I learned car stuff, because like my brother was a little bit older, so he could like help my dad on like car shit, but I couldn't really. I was a little kid. I didn't know what they were talking about. I would just like get yelled at for kind of like being in the way. Yeah. So like that's kind of how I like learned cars, and you can like play with all of the cars, and you can learn what you actually like. And I was like, oh yeah, I like all-wheel drive cars. I love the Evo. Like I really want one of those or whatever. Like it's kind of how I learned what I liked in terms of cars. And then just like when I think back on video games, and like Dragon Ball Z Budokai was PlayStation 2. Awesome game. But like really, if I think about like any other gaming system, I can't think of super specific like memories that I have playing those systems.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like I have very specific memories of like me and Jason playing like Midnight Club, or like playing like shit games that aren't really even like, but it was just like, yeah, we were just like hanging out.
No. Smuggler's Run was tight.
Yeah, Smuggler's Run. We were talking about that not that long ago. Smuggler's Run was so much fun. And like
it was basically Grand Theft Auto 3 before Grand Theft Auto 3.
it was so good. And like even like some of the PlayStation 1 games we had, but we didn't play them, and like we didn't get them until we had PlayStation 2. So like Digimon World we had, but like I think we played it actually on the PlayStation 2. It was like kind of.
We played it on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, but I don't remember playing it on the PlayStation 1. Does that make sense? Like I remember
I played it on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, I remember playing it on PlayStation 2, and or like that gun game, whatever I don't know. I was playing. We'd eat those like giant buckets of like trail mix, like cheese mix.
Oh yeah.
From like Sam's Club.
It's
like weird like that. Point Blank. Yeah, we had Time Crisis too. But like, remember Point Blank, that like carnival? Yeah. He like modified the like gun for the PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. It's not really how good the system was, but like for me, a lot of my like key memories of childhood of playing video games are like those two systems. None of the other systems. Like, oh yeah, I remember playing games on that, but I couldn't be like yeah, I remember playing Halo, right? I remember like whatever, but I don't remember like a specific point in time where it's like, oh, when we were playing Halo, this happened.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why like PlayStation 2 and Game Boy Advance like really have like a sweet spot in my heart, because like everything else is just like, it was like time filler.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't have anything to do, so I'm gonna play this game or whatever. Those were the two where it was like, we're planning on playing this game. Like, we're going to play this game later.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Kind of
I would say my honorable mention is the PlayStation Vita. Like, I loved that thing. I did get rid of it and got a 3DS because Brandon convinced me. He was like, no, dude, 3DS is tight. I was like, wait,
3DS is tight.
Pokemon is coming out? I guess I need a 3DS.
Yep.
But
the main reason we got them was for Pokemon.
Dude, I bought so many consoles for either Pokemon or Zelda. Like, I literally bought a Switch, and I've talked about this. The week it came out to play Breath of the Wild, and I didn't buy another game for the Switch until the Link's Awakening remake just came out. So, and I love Smash and those other games. I just
3DS only bought Pokemon on it.
Yeah.
I'll change to the 3DS because I had a Vita, which I love, and I think there are great games for the Vita. But I also loved Monster Hunter, and at the time, Monster Hunter was only on the 3DS.
Yeah.
So I got the 3DS for the new Pokemon, which was at the time Omega Ruby, and Monster Hunter Generations, and I still have it right here.
Nice.
Like, flawless condition. Look at that. Dude, you got a sick one.
Yeah.
Yeah, flawless condition. Like, I take super good care of it.
Pokemon Moon in it right now.
Are you freaking kidding me? Dude, we're about to online battle tank.
I don't know. I think I restarted it though. I don't even know. It's been so long since I've actually played it.
Mine still has Moon in it too because I was doing that over
the Nuzlocke.
Trying to do the Nuzlocke.
Dude, why don't we all just do that game? Just kidding. You guys are not gonna get me to restart that one.
Dude, if I was to do a Nuzlocke in any Pokemon game, I would not do it in this one.
Like,
you can, like, if you go online and like read about it, everybody's like, yeah, don't fucking do it inside. It's the one they're like, don't do it in this. Every other one, it's like,
to me,
yeah, first route you can just get a flying Pokemon and you'll be chilling. Not this one. You're for
to me, like the handheld games, always, like I said it with the Game Boy, like that was mine, right? So like now that I'm older, it's like when you have a console, you have to share the television,
right?
Or now that I'm married with kids and older, I go into my office and my wife's like, really? You don't want to spend time with us? And it's like, I do, but at the same time,
right.
Pokemon, like that grind ain't gonna happen by itself.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy portable video games.
I'm hoping to get Sword and Shield for Christmas.
About to buy it tonight.
Are you really?
Maybe we've been talking about it. It's got me real nostalgic.
I want to play. I will play it. It'll probably be Christmas.
There's no doubt in my mind. Like I have to wait until Christmas has slowed down.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get the Switch and Pokemon Sword.
We actually have a rule that we're not allowed. So my birthday is the end of September. Hers is the beginning of October. So we have a rule: we're not allowed to buy ourselves anything between our birthdays and Christmas, because for years, like when it was just us two married and like we both worked, you don't not buy, like you just like, oh, I want this, so you go get it, right?
Yeah.
And so like, and then we get to like Christmas, like, fuck, I don't know what to get you for Christmas, because we both literally just bought everything we wanted. So, so we still kind of do that a little bit. So hopefully for Christmas, either her or my family will get me the new Pokemon game.
It's all about that dink. Double income, no kids.
Yep. And now we're single income with kids. So
yeah. So all right, guys. Well, that about wraps it up for this week.
Basically, we just talked about how much we love Pokemon.
Pretty much.
Basically,
and
this
Zelda.
whole episode was like, hey, we love Pokemon.
We love
We're
Nintendo.
Like, we love Star Wars, and we love Pokemon.
No. So yeah, we love Star Wars and Pokemon.
Pretty much.
Tank, tell them where to find you.
Yeah, you guys can find me all over the internet at The Caped Critic. Yeah, I'm a yay Nintendo, and keep an eye on the channel. Like I said, hopefully, probably the beginning of the year, we're gonna have some really cool stuff start hitting the channel. So keep an eye out.
Hey, the three of us might be on that, so you can find me here, or you can find me at Houdini0333 on Instagram and Twitter. Keep an eye on the channel, and I know, like, I literally said 2 basically Game Boys for the exact same reason. Shit,
But
I'll get the Switch
awesome.
Lite and it's gonna still be the same reason. Alright, Brandon, tell them where to find you.
I really just chose everything based on nostalgia. Going off of nostalgia, if you really are about that Poke life, you can catch me on Poke Match.
Of course, there's one.
People who play Pokemon Go, which is still Pokemon, and like surprisingly, a ton of people play it in Portland. Like
Yo, Pokemon Go is not bad.
Yeah.
We see in Boston, we would see groups of people walking around with their phones out, and you're like, oh, I know what they're doing.
Yeah.
People here that are like, okay, these are like, business folks walking around with their phone, and then you walk by them and look back, and they're all playing Pokemon Go.
That's awesome.
It happened this weekend.
That's so dope.
They were all playing Pokemon Go. This is real weird. But yeah, Poke Match at bmiller425.
That's awesome.
I'm still
Alright,
on
guys.
Pokemon Go.
Hey, you can find all of us at TheNerdsFromWork.com. You can find links to all of our social media, and you can find all of our latest ramblings. Hey, be sure to check out the Blazing Defender Report, who is also on the Nerds from Work channel. Hey, guys, from all of us here at the workplace.
Peace.